Let's take to the trails.
Today's adventure brings us to Marshall, Indiana, and the Turkey Run State Park.
Turkey Run is a top-ranked Indiana state park that's along State Road 47. We were really excited to explore the 14 miles of ruggedly beautiful sandstone ravines, some old-growth forests, and scenic views along Sugar Creek. The trail types are scaled from easy to very rugged and are spot on with their rankings. We came prepared with waterproof footwear during our visit because we had expected to trek in riverbeds and across uneven, muddy areas. Hiking is one of the most popular activities at Turkey Run, and we were ready to hit the trails, making sure we would be back by dusk when the trails closed. We decided to time our spring visit so that it had not rained in the area for a few days, and it was perfect. There was enough water in the falls, but the streams were not that deep. We started our journey at the Nature Center, which is located inside the park near the picnic areas and trailheads. After our picnic, we visited the interactive exhibits, live animals, and a nature viewing area. This squirrel doing inverted sit-ups really made us laugh. Cell phone reception for us was very spotty though, so we picked up a paper map at the Nature Center, which we used alongside our GPS. And now for my top 5 likes while hiking Turkey Run State Park. Number 1, the Narrows Covered Bridge. From the Nature Center, we took trail number 1 east. This takes you past a very popular suspension bridge, but we planned to spend time there at the end of the day, so we just took a quick peek while passing by. Now this part of the trail is very quiet and beautiful, just walking alongside Sugar Creek. And we were pretty excited to see the towering bluffs all along the duration of the trail. There are steep stairs and rocky areas, but we adjusted quickly to the rhythm of the hike. We passed Goose Rock, which was impressive, and then found one of the 2 geocaches on our list for the day. Upon arrival to the bridge, we were surprised to see the free limited street parking that gave direct access to the covered bridge. Looking at the entrance to the bridge, I'm betting it's a pretty famous spot to take wedding, graduation, and family pictures. Walking inside, there was a lot of annoying graffiti, but the bridge's burr arch truss and plank flooring were still in fantastic shape, considering it was close to 150 years old. Walking from one end to the other, I can imagine the community events, meetings, and special occasions that must have been taking place under that protected roof of the bridge back in the day. After greeting some cute dogs from Michigan, picking up our second geocache of the day, and taking one last look, we headed out via trail number 4 towards our next destination. Number 2, to the Punch Bowl. We decided to take trail 4 west instead of north around to the Punch Bowl because there were a few sites along the way that we wanted to see. The first was the abandoned coal mine.
To reach the coal mine, you come to a Y in the trail, and if you go to the right, it's a staircase. The coal mine is actually to the left, down here. This is the direction we're going to check out what the coal mine looks like. Let's go.
The opening to the mine was much smaller than I anticipated, but it was still fun to peer inside looking for bats. I was really happy to see that the park had put the horizontal beams over the entrance to allow the bats to fly freely in and out. We then trekked onward to the intersection of trail number 10 and 4 and took the right fork north to continue on number 4. Our next site, Wedge Rock, was, well, wow, you can't miss it. It was a very unusual and actually did look like this huge boulder was just thrown down by a giant from the sky and got wedged between other rocks. Passing Wedge Rock, we began seeing the narrow canyons flanked by high walls of sandstone in Rocky Hollow. We really enjoyed the cool, fresh feeling that the surrounding plants and mosses gave in the hollow. To us, it smelled wonderful. The hiking quickly became steeper and more challenging in Rocky Hollow, so we started to take it a little slower and enjoyed the scenery around us. We saw many different sizes of waterfalls. They were all spilling over the rocks because there was just enough water, and we felt so lucky to be there. We successfully made it through Rocky Hollow and then located the short spur off the main trail that pointed the way to the Punch Bowl. This place is picture perfect. And when we looked at the 15-foot across, 6-foot deep circle in the ground, I can certainly understand why some people call it a big pothole instead of the Punch Bowl.
So we've just finished Rocky Hollow, and it was a challenge, but absolutely beautiful. Glad we had our walking stick so you can push off the rocks. And now we're taking a quick rest and rehydrate at Camel's Back before we head out and start going back to some more ravines and see what we can find.
Number 3, to Boulder Canyon. After our rest at Camel's Back, we mapped out our next destination to Boulder Canyon. We decided we wanted to walk along Sugar Creek, so we took Trail 10 all the way down to the southernmost portion of Trail number 3 and then headed west.
So we're on Trail 3, and so we were coming down, and there's this little crevice that we came into, and there's so many people have sat in these little crevices. They are now little seats. So this is really cool. You just kind of come down the stairway, and then it's right to the right on Trail 3, and you can sit and get an awesome view.
A park ranger in the Nature Center had told me there are over 1 million visitors each year to the park. And there's definitely evidence of that huge quantity of visitors in the smooth stones along the trail. Many of the wooden handrails were even worn smooth, which was actually kind of nice. There were no splinters. The southern route towards Boulder Canyon took us to 3 connecting trails. On number 3, we passed the ice box before connecting to trail number 5 that continued to run along Sugar Creek. Falls in Boulder Canyon are on trail number 9 and are the most rugged of all the trails. Now, I think it's personal preference whether to start or end with the most difficult trail. For me, starting with a more moderate part of the trail helped me prepare mentally to complete the difficult terrain of number 9. Number 9 was formidable, but I was feeling quite confident from finishing and getting through Rocky Hollow. Like any walk through a canyon, the rocks represent the Earth's past, but Turkey Run canyons are pretty special. They're made primarily of Mansfield sandstone, with the walls dating back 500 million years, but the canyons being carved by the glacier melt around 12,000 years ago. Every turn in the park brings a new surprise.
Okay, just got finished climbing up Boulder Canyon, right, honey? Boulder Canyon. Whew. Fun, but winded, very difficult. Time for some water.
Number 4, to the Bear Hollow Ladders. At this point in our journey, I began running out of water. I should have brought a bigger bottle. We knew there weren't facilities north of Sugar Creek to fill our bottles, but we thought we'd brought enough. So yeah, now we know for next time. We were on the home stretch, heading toward Bear Hollow and the famous trail ladders. We hiked the remainder of Trail 9 around the northern route and connected with Trail 5 to head south to our destination. I had seen pictures of the 3 famous 15-foot ladders, and as we ascended the hill, ducked under some fallen trees, and came around a corner, oh my, better than pictures, there they were. We arrived between ladder 1 and 2, but I just had to climb down all 3 after hiking all that way, so I took a short detour around to the top so I could descend all 3. I was thankful how sturdy they were and that they didn't wobble under my weight. At the bottom of the ladders, we continued through Bear Hollow, heading back to Trail 3. Walking through Bear Hollow was very peaceful, and we appreciated the more moderate hiking after the very rugged Trail number 9. Number 5, the Suspension Bridge. We passed the Suspension Bridge 3 times during the day, but it was really fun ending our hike on the bridge. The iconic structure stretches across Sugar Creek and gave us a bird's eye view of the area. We saw many fishermen on our hike, so we looked over the rail for fish, and were surprised at how many large fish we saw from up on the bridge. One fisherman told us there are primarily bass and catfish in the clear waters. As we realized it was probably time to go, we walked across, heading to the trailhead. Being a suspension bridge, though, even with just us walking on it, it swayed back and forth and gave me the flutters in my stomach. It was a perfect conclusion to a perfect day. Enjoy life. Take to the trails. But before heading out, be sure to like and subscribe.